Hey guys, Coach Michelle here at Motivational Coaching by Michelle. For your daily tip today is talking about meal planning. If you've been following me, you know I'm not a big cook, but I do have to plan meals for my family by default. And so I try to make things as simple as possible. Meal planning does not have to be a very hard thing. The main thing is that when you are shopping, you just want to have your staples. You kind of pretty much know what your sides and your staples are going to be, and just have to figure out what the main meal is going to be for the most part. For me, I eat pretty much the same breakfast and similar lunches and snacks. I rotate a little bit, but people who are successful with weight loss typically stick with 2 or 3 items for the same breakfast, the same snacks, the same lunches, and then dinner is really the part where you're doing most of your meal planning. So a lot of my ideas I get from, I subscribe to a lot of things on the web for blogs and recipes. I also have some cookbooks that I look at, and Pinterest is a great app. If you don't have Pinterest, it's so much fun, and you can find so many great things on there to use. But the first thing I do is I just use pen to paper, and I sit down every Sunday. I carve out about 20 minutes or so, 30 minutes to really figure out what we're doing for the week. I look at my schedule, see what my kids have in the afternoon or what meetings we have, and I kind of plan around that. So if we have a baseball game in the middle of a typical evening of dinner time, I will do a crock pot so that when we get home from the game, we have something that's healthy that we can eat instead of having to go through a fast food or where everybody's starving. So that's one way. But I use this meal planner here. It's just a simple thing. It breaks it out into 7 days with all the plans, but I typically since I already know what breakfast, snack, and lunch typically is, I just sort of write on the side what the date is and what's going on for the day so I know. And then I put what we're going to have as the main meal. So it could be salmon, it could be ground beef, it could be flank steak, it could be chicken, anything. And I find the recipe, what I want to make with it, and then I pick the 2 sides that I typically make. For me, I usually do double vegetables, but my family likes the starches, so it may be that I'm making rice for them or pasta. Perhaps it's trying to think, couscous, anything of that nature. That's the side for them. Baked potato, sweet potato, and then I usually do a salad almost at every meal. And then I have some kind of vegetables. So, and I do very simple. So I do roasted in the oven, quick, easy cleanup, or I'll do steamed vegetables in the steam bags. Something that's just really simple and quick, and I don't do complicated recipes because I don't like to cook. But if you love to cook and you love those complicated recipes and you have time, then just plan it out. So anyway, those are kind of some of the things I do. I also cook in batches, so we may have leftovers and use some of those batches that I've made for the sides again, or it could be for lunches for the following day or 2 as well. So don't be afraid to cook in batches and to freeze things. Of course, you don't want it to stay in the freezer too long if you're going to freeze it, or in the refrigerator if you're going to keep it there for a few days. If somebody doesn't eat it, you definitely want to toss it. But you know, there's nothing wrong with frozen vegetables to purchase. It's not as good as the fresh, but it's you know, nothing wrong with that. You can do canned as well. I've just watched the sodium on a lot of the canned vegetables and canned beans. You can always rinse them in a colander and get rid of some of the sodium that way. But a lot of companies now do low sodium in the cans. So you want to make sure to look at that and pick the lower sodium options if it is available. And that is pretty much how I do some meal planning. So make sure to just carve out 20-30 minutes 1 day a week. You can knock it all out, figure out what you have, and that way you'll be much more successful with your weight loss efforts and goals for the week, as you have everything already focused and planned out. You already know what you're going to eat, and you don't have to have that 5 o'clock scramble where you come home from work or you've been running around all day and you're like, what's for dinner? So I hope these have helped you out. If you have any other tips or ideas that work for you, please comment below. I would love to hear them. I always love to learn from other people, and we can all learn as our community. from each other. So please comment what works for you. And if there are any tips here that I've given you that will help you out, I would love to hear that as well, some feedback. Make sure to like the video, share it with other people, and follow me on social media at Motivational Coaching by Michelle. Have a great day.